Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop this week, and I got 5 new comics, plus a few things you see here. And it was an expensive week, too, because I got 2 giant-sized comics that were extra expensive. But let's start with, I already got Jupiter's Legacy issue number 5, which I bought a few weeks ago, but then I brought it back to my comic shop because the corner was ripped here. So they reported that one as damaged and reordered me a copy. So here's my new copy of Jupiter's Legacy 2, issue 5, which I've already read and enjoyed. It was actually a little anticlimactic in that I always say Mark Millar is the master of the expected, and he gives you kind of what you expect, and but he does it well. But the good guys won in the end, kind of thing. So it was like you were expecting them to win in the end, and they won in the end. Other than that, it was all. There was one fun part in it. I don't know if you remember me saying something about this giant woman superhero who I think they put in there just for scale, just because visually so that she looks real cool. But at one point when she escapes and gets revenge on the guy who captured and tormented her by squashing him, that was pretty much the highlight of the book to me. Then we've got the new comic shop news. Like I said, my comic shop has been getting this in for the first time in I don't know how long, 20 years, so I'm enjoying reading it. It even comes with, let's see, where are these? It comes with the daily Spider-Man strip, so I get to read a whole week's worth of Spider-Man. So that's fun to get. And of course, the final part of Here's Negan. I'm not sure if this is the final issue of Image Plus 2 or not. I'm just not. I'm gonna have to read that. But this is the Here's Negan. What is that part? The finale, part 16, which they printed the whole thing in that Image Comics 25th anniversary box that came out. I think only 500 of the 1992 of them have the complete Here's Negan in it, but they'll print it again. I think they're coming out with a hardcover of it, and they say that Image box is the only time it's going to be printed in comic book form or something like that, but it'll be printed. Trust me on that one. And here's the first of the expensive ones at $8. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Usagi Yojimbo. Of course, I'm getting this because I'm an Usagi Yojimbo fan. But Stan Sakai in color. This is at least 40 pages. Let me see if I can get a page count on the back. 39. Yeah, it's a 40-page story. So it's nearly twice the size of a normal comic. So it's twice the price. Cover A. I wonder if they have a shot of the other covers here. There we go. Well, this has got a lot of covers. Sergio cover. Oh, I guess that one. Wraparound cuff. San Diego Comic-Con cover. Another Stan Sakai. Kevin Eastman. Stan Sakai. Wow, lots of covers on this one. But I'm an Usagi fan, so whoa, don't fall over. I didn't hold it right. I'm an Usagi fan, so of course I'm going to get this one. The other super big, super expensive one is $10 for Savage Dragon 225, the 100-page spectacular. So you get 100 pages for your $10 for this one. So that's a good price. I think there's 3 or 4 covers to this one, including a not safe for work bagged one. Oh, and this is Graphic Fantasy was one he put out when he was a teenager, with the first appearance of the dragon in it. And I think he recolored that for this issue. There it is. There is teenage Eric Larson drawing the dragon. And it looks like they got it made, they got it yellowed a little bit to look like, that looks a lot like Walt Simonson right there. He must have liked Walt Simonson stuff. And the rest is, he usually collects The Monster's Revenge, various other stories. I think he's got like a 40-page lead story in this. And then he usually has backups in it, so I'm sure he's got some of his normal backup people doing backups. And yeah, this is all the lead story, I think. So it's a long one. There's Dart for Zach. But I enjoy the Savage Dragon every month, and $10 is expensive. But for a 100-page spectacular, he does I think he did one at 200 every 25 issues or so. He likes to do one of these 100-page spectaculars, and they're always fun. And next we have Saga, issue 45. I have no idea where Saga's going right now because it's a saga. It just kind of rambles on at times. And the Alana, our lead character, was pregnant, but the baby died inside her instead of some space battle. So they've been looking to get the baby out of her somehow, and they had to go to this planet of abortions, and they wouldn't take it out of her, and now she's got to go through some magical rite to get the baby out, and who knows where this is going to go. Saga is just a weird, rambling comic that's a lot of fun. I generally always like the art. I always like that. I knew from the beginning with a name like Saga, it was just kind of going to go and ramble on, and I'm fine with that. So, can't wait to read another issue of it. And here we have issue 22 of Wayward. It looks like we're back in Ireland. We were back in Japan for the last issue to see what the characters left in Japan were up to, and they were getting into some trouble. And now we're going back with our lead character to Ireland, where last we knew one of the magical Japanese creatures was dying because the magical creature got injured. Was she the cat one? Yeah, the cat creature got injured, and for some reason Ireland's magic was she'd normally heal up, but Ireland's magic was different than Japan's magic, so she wasn't healing. They always give us sort of a negative of the cover on the back. But yeah, Wayward's been good. It's back from hiatus. Was the last issue the first issue back from hiatus? I don't remember. But either way, the story's always good. Now for the last year or so, we've been jumping back and forth from Japan to Ireland. Though we spent sometimes within the issue, sometimes, like I said, a whole issue is dedicated to one story or the other, the last two. So we'll see where that goes. But Wayward's a good book. Up to issue 22. Time flies. And the last issue of the week is Outcast, issue 29. Where that's our main character there and his father who just showed up. Now they're fighting demons together or whatever. They're not actually. They actually explained what they were. Finally, there's some I don't know, extra-dimensional creatures who, at the beginning of time, there was darkness and light, and the darkness and the light fought each other, and the dark creatures won, and then they creeped over into our world. Blah de blah de blah. But the story is good. They were out. They're trying to make a home for themselves in the outskirts of town because the demon creatures have pretty much taken over the main town they're from, and they're trying to fight them. But they really don't know how. They really don't have a plan. They're fighting them with headbutts, I guess. So we're gonna have to see if they can come up with a plan. Since he's hanging with his dad now. The second main character, who was the preacher, kind of broke off and found his own. I don't know. They were kind of like a tent church that didn't have their own preacher. So he's like, "Hey, I'll just preach here. There's a plan." So now he's trying to prepare his flock to fight these demons. They've kind of been fumbling around in the dark, trying to come up with a plan for most of this series, and now they've finally got something they can base a plan on, but they don't quite have a plan yet, so we'll see if they can come up with a plan. But it's been a fun series. I very much enjoy Paul Azacetta's art. Kirkman's writing is good. There's a lot of, the coloring is very the coloring is very good too. It's kind of all monochrome here because they're fighting in the dark. But like I said, from top to bottom, Outcast has been a good book. It's not The Walking Dead. It's something completely different, but it stands on its own. And finally, we'll give you a little look at my background art. Dreams of Things 44 and 46. I think I may have showed you 44 in its inked stage, but I decided I finally got around to doing some marker coloring on it with a little chalk highlights there in white. Stalactites hanging down. Just a dreamlike cover. Woman in a cave, in a world, not sure. Kind of gave it the sky, or whatever that would be, is kind of yellow. We give it a hint of a blue sky down there and some water. Just another dreamlike drawing from me. Then we've got this drawing. I think I used this figure for something else too. Then I started over with it and redrew it, so I could make a Dreams of Things cover of it. That's what I do sometimes. I rework images, or I just see how I can use something in a different way, so I redraw it. And that's what that one is. And did I use that for one of my Marked Women covers? I may have in one of the later ones, but now it's going to be a Dreams of Thing cover once I get some color on it. So you guys all have a good week out there.